We've got a great panel. I love this term of Screenagers. The fact that I can't stop saying it without smiling means obviously I'm not one of them. But we have a panel of them. It's a Gen Z panel, and to moderate that, we've got Jo Nguyen, who is chair of the board at IABSG and senior VP APAC at Comscore, together with Hui Yen Pan, regional director of Style Hall, to talk to this panel of very smart, very insightful young people to tell us their take on the future and what it looks like through their lens. Jo, handing over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. This is my co-host, moderator.
Hi, everybody.
Hui
How are you
Yen.
doing?
She's with Style Hall. And I'm going to welcome up our 9 Screenagers.
Let me head over this side.
Please.
Yeah, come on, a round of applause.
So they're from the schools in Singapore. Please have a seat. Age ranges from 16 to 20. And I was surprised. They came really well dressed, and I'm trying to look as cool as possible. It's sort of the other way around. But that's, so the idea is that the youth, and the term is Gen Z. I think Jasper is saying Zillennial, Zennial. I don't know if you guys like that term. I've also heard Gen Zombie, but no, that's not good.
Down.
Yeah, I didn't think so. The idea is they're consuming media very differently than any of us. I would say, Yen is you are a millennial.
I'm a really proud millennial. You guys have been talking about millennials in my generation for the past, I don't know, 5 years. But I guess now the time has passed on to the next generation, and the spotlight's gonna be on them today.
Yeah, so millennials are not cool anymore. They have jobs.
Oh, thanks,
They're getting
Joe.
married. That whole thing, and paying mortgages and stuff like that. So.
You're kind of right, actually.
All right, Yen, you want to kick it off?
Maybe let us just kind of go, have everybody say your first name, how old you are, and maybe just very quickly name one show that you're currently watching anywhere. Let's just start with that.
Just pass the mic down. Nayan, go ahead.
My name is Nayan. I'm 19 years old, and I'm currently watching How I Met Your Mother on Netflix.
Sweet.
Who here watches How I Met My Mother? Seen it before? All right, he's an old school.
Hi, I'm Amina. I'm 18 years old, and I'm watching cartoon shows. For example, like Powerpuff Girls, My Little Pony. Yeah, those teenagers don't really watch, but I do.
You're pretty old school as well.
My Little Pony? Who here watches that? None of the guys are raising their hands here.
My name is Victoria. I'm 17, and I'm not currently watching any TV shows.
I'm Ernest. I'm 17, and I'm watching House of Cards on Netflix.
He's
House
an
of Cards.
intellect.
Wait, you're too young to watch that.
I'm 21.
As far as Netflix is concerned, yeah?
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm 16, and I'm currently mooching off of the 100 with my stepsister.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Anna. I am also 17, and I don't really watch TV shows, but the last one I watched was Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon. Okay.
You're also too young for that one.
18.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm 17, and I like watching film analysis on YouTube.
Wow, okay. We have a couple of intellects here. The E's. Okay, cool. So one big question. You guys heard of a TV?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the main question is, do you guys actually watch anything on TV these days? At all? Even Netflix? I see that's a resounding no.
Mike?
I don't really think Netflix is counted as TV.
Okay.
But TV in terms of like a television at home.
Okay.
None of us really watch it anymore because everything on our computers is easier to access.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So TV is literally something that sits in your living room at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
where do you watch your stuff? How do you watch? Which
On your
device?
computer or on your phone.
Computer or phone?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
I guess we don't use the TV at home much for live television. We can access Apple TV on our TV, so we use it for YouTube and things like that.
So, good show of hands. Which of your household has StarHub? I don't anymore, but Mio TV? You have no idea what I'm talking about. Mio TV?
We have it, we just don't use it. Like it's.
Okay, so somebody's paying for it, but no one's using it. Do your parents watch it?
No.
How many have TVs in your bedroom? One. When I was growing up, it was like TV in my bedroom was what I wanted,
Oh my
right?
God, yes. Okay, so YouTube. Everybody watch YouTube? Netflix? Everybody watch Netflix? No? Yes? No? Chloe doesn't. Not really. Why not Netflix?
Well, I watch Netflix only really when other people are watching it.
Okay.
So I'll watch whatever they're watching, but myself, I watch YouTube more.
Okay, I see. So another question, I think, jumping into what you actually use to watch. So how many devices do each of you have?
I have two.
You have two. So what are they? Like a
I have
laptop?
my phone and my laptop.
Your phone and a laptop?
A phone, a laptop, and a Kindle.
And a
for reading.
Kindle. Okay.
And a kid. You just pass the mic on. Keep.
I have a phone, a laptop, and a drawing iPad.
3.
Yeah, I guess I own 3. I have my personal laptop, my desktop at home, and my phone.
I also have 3. I have my phone, my laptop, and my personal computer.
I have one, which is only phone.
I also have 3, my phone, my laptop, and my Kindle as well.
Okay, so I think when we were discussing a little bit as well, something that kind of popped up is that you guys seem to use different devices for slightly different purposes. So like personal versus school. So can you guys tell me a little bit about, maybe we start with, maybe Ethan, just tell me a little bit about what's the different use of the devices, like how do you use them differently?
My laptop I use to play video games.
Okay.
And then of course I use it for school.
Okay.
But when it comes to just like watching stuff and relaxing, I usually don't actually use my laptop at all. I mostly consume media and stuff like that on my phone.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Is it the same for everybody as well?
Phone for watching stuff.
Personal stuff?
PC for watching stuff. Just raise your hand. Or both. Everything. Kindle, Kindle. Depends on the Kindle. Apple tablet. So it's mostly phones.
I only use my phone for like social media and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat, and then I use my computer for my schoolwork. And I never really watch stuff, but if I do, I guess it would be on my computer, like on airplanes and stuff.
I find I'm starting to use my phone for both entertainment and school, and my laptop is the same thing, although I would say I don't like watching things on a small screen, so I will definitely default to my laptop for watching YouTube.
Okay.
Do you spend more time on your phone or than anything else, than any other screen? Yes, no, yes?
More time on phone.
More time on phone. More time on other screens.
Okay. So for those who are spending more time on phone, let me ask you one question. How long do you think you can go without actually touching your phone? Is that even possible?
Okay, if you had to give up food for a day or your phone, which do you give up?
The phone.
The phone. The
Oh,
phone.
okay.
All right, that's it, right?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. If you had to give up seeing your friends for a week or your phone, which? Friends for a week. Give up friends. Give up friends.
Ouch. So,
Give
okay.
up. Not seeing your family for a week or the phone. Give up your family.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Hey, you gotta be honest. You gotta be honest.
That's what we're asking you, right?
Sweet. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about like gaming, because since we're talking about devices as well. I noticed a couple of you are gamers and you love to game. So who are the gamers? Raise of hand. 1, 2. Sorry, not counted. Not Zillennial. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Question: where do you guys play your games? Is it on a mobile? Is it on a PC, a console, a Nintendo Switch? That sounded a bit old school, I'm sorry.
So I play most of my games on my PC, but I also play on my PS4.
PS4?
Yeah.
Okay, so not the games on mobile?
No, not at all.
Okay, so you're a serious type of gamer, you
Well,
say?
I wouldn't necessarily say serious, but like if I have like a free hour or two on a Sunday or whatever and I'm done with my work, might as well, right?
Okay.
Are you a sponsored gamer?
No, I'm not nearly that good.
Okay.
So for the other gamers, do you have videos of yourself?
True fact, in 7th grade I did have a Minecraft YouTube channel.
Oh.
But that's gone.
All right, who here watches other people play games on YouTube or other stuff? All right, so the gamers, right? So do you game more than watch people play game? Do you play games more than watch other people play games?
I mean, it's like a balance of both, because watching a person better than you makes someone you feel better, right? It's like seeing things that you can't do that someone else can do makes you kind of happy inside, because you know like crazy stuff can be done.
Okay.
Right? But definitely being able to do it yourself, playing the game is also fun. So it's a balance between the two. Yeah.
50-50?
50-50, yeah.
For me, actually, it's quite different. While I do enjoy video games, I mostly only play on my friends' devices because they have much better devices than I do. So when I go to their house, I play. So I watch video games on YouTube more often than I play video games.
You watch more?
Yeah.
Why? Just to learn the moves, or?
Well, because I think it's fun to watch. Like, why do people watch football? I watch my favorite players play League of Legends and Dota, so.
It's like watching cooking shows, right? Or like tutorials. Like, I'm not gonna cook every single day, but I enjoy Jamie Oliver cooking up a 15-minute meal. So it's kind of like that instant gratification that you guys have, right? Someone doing really awesome.
Sometimes I hear people say, why would you watch someone if you can just play the game? But the same applies to sports. Why would you watch a sport if you can play the sport yourself?
That is true.
That's something a lot of people like saying.
Yeah, word. That's true.
So should esports become an Olympic sport?
Yes.
Yeah. You were gonna say something?
For me, it's mostly just during the week I don't have time to necessarily sit down and play the game. So watching, I spend a lot of time then watching like when I can't play it, because then it's still a way for me to be involved with the game but not have to play the game when I'm not able to.
Okay, just a little bit more. One more question on the gaming side. So I understand from Joe that gaming has different types of things. So you have like a campaign where you follow through a storyline, but sometimes you guys just go in and you just bang out missions and just get the instant gratification of killing a boss. I'm using terms that I'm totally not familiar with right now. But yeah, so what do you guys prefer? Like playing a game for the story, or just, that social aspect of it?
I personally prefer multiplayer ones that you play with your friends, as opposed to like just a linear campaign that you do by yourself, because there's very much that social aspect of our lives that we very much like to engage in. So playing with friends essentially appeals to that, and when you're with your friends, things that don't seem very fun all of a sudden become fun, and stupid things you wouldn't otherwise do by yourself, you'd probably do with your friends. So playing with friends is definitely more interesting than playing alone, by far. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyone from the audience has questions, just, we'll try to get you a mic.
We have one over here.
But we'll just keep on going. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a question over there. We'll take it from the audience as well.
I think they're covering the mic.
So when was the last time you saw advertising?
5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago on your phone?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know. I don't really. Yeah, I mean, advertising is just kind of like in everything that we do. It doesn't matter like where you're going, especially like if you have your phone, you're seeing advertisements either through Facebook, Reddit, Snapchat. Like there's ads everywhere. Yeah.
So how many of you skip ads all the time? Raise of hands. So you guys have never, even if it's interesting, you've never sat through an ad, or you just turn up a new browser and do your stuff?
If an ad is interesting, I will watch it.
Okay.
Like, I will admit that there's one particular StarHub ad that I watch all the way through on YouTube each time, because I think it's fun.
So what worked? What worked in the StarHub? Everybody here wants to know.
I'm not sure. I'm not. This was a little while ago, but it was some kind of cute story with a family in a living room, and they sang a little song, and I thought it was cute, so I watched it.
There's this one StarHub ad or whatever where, or it might not be StarHub, but everybody's like working at like an architecture agency, and one of them is really old, and so he goes to a board meeting, and it looks like his colleague has stolen his architecture plans, but then it's revealed that his colleague actually was just doing it for the publicity so that his older colleague could get more attention. And I watch it every time.
Oh. So kudos to StarHub, this is something that they actually watch. So does it actually annoy you when you talk about ads? Like when you look at an ad, does it really annoy you, or you're used to it, it's part of your consumption?
I kind of block them. Like if I can, I just block every single one of them, and then if I come across it, I don't pay attention to it. I don't know. I don't like them.
Okay.
I got a question there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have two questions. The first is, do you guys still goes to cinema to watching your favorite movie, or you prefer to watching through YouTube or to streaming? The second is, do you guys still goes to event also? For example, if a big famous musician comes, do you still prefer to go to watch the concert, or you still think that I can watch them through YouTube, so I don't go to that event?
Go ahead. Sorry. What?
Oh, personally, I don't really like concerts. I'm much more of a quiet person myself, but I know that a lot of people at school really do love going, so I think that they would prefer to go to the concert if they could.
Okay.
But sometimes it's like expensive and they can't pull together the money, so.
Okay.
I don't think they'd watch it on YouTube though if they couldn't go to the concert.
So like, what about like the first question as well? So movies on theater screen, or you're just happy with your laptop or your phone? Do you guys go to movies these days?
I don't ever go to the movies. I like my laptop.
No? Okay, who goes to the movies and who likes going to the movies?
Crazy Rich Asians?
Crazy Rich Asians? Good, yeah. Okay, so I see that whatever, if you don't have the money or even the time, so the screen is always there, it's just there for you, and it's just easy and convenient, right? It's just part of your lives. Okay, cool. So maybe let's kind of jump into what you guys find interesting and what you guys find funny. So do you guys all watch YouTube or YouTubers? Or, okay, so let me ask you one question. If you had to hang out with someone, anybody in the world, to kind of chat or to kind of have fun or to kind of, because you look up to them, who would that person be?
So there's this guy on YouTube, and his name is Ralph Sepike, and he reviews movies, and I really like his content, and I want to talk to him about movies someday.
Okay.
Noam Chomsky, because I think he's really smart and really
who?
cool. Noam Chomsky.
Noam Chomsky, okay. Names that I don't really know. I'll Google them later.
Okay.
feel like this might launch a whole other topic, but I'm a big fan of K-pop, so I would definitely want to meet my favorite K-pop stars, which there's too many lists, so I will say BTS because everyone knows who they are by this point.
I would love to hang out with BTS too.
J. Joe's here this weekend, you know.
Let's move along.
Just continue on my intellectual theme. I'd like to meet Barack Obama.
Oh, sweet.
You know, he's very much an intellectual like me.
Yes,
and,
of course.
You know, I want to be able to relate to him, and
Gotcha.
he seems like that relatable guy.
Yeah.
Because over
You guys
here-
are on the same frequency.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Yeah, we're like the perfect match. Yeah,
Perfect.
so I'd love to meet him.
Okay, that's nice. What about you, Victoria?
I'd like to meet Tom Clancy because he's made a lot of the games that I play with one of my best friends, and also he's a phenomenal writer, and his books are really interesting.
I would love to meet Bob Marley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know, I just like his beard. Other than that, yeah.
Nayan?
I think just in the vein of US presidents, I'd really want to see how insane Donald Trump is up close. So if I could chat with him, that would be interesting.
It's for a totally different reason.
All right, so news. Have you guys heard of BBC? Have you guys watched BBC? How do you get to watch BBC? What are the guys that do? Or CNN, for that matter? Or Fox and Friends?
I think personally, I do try and keep up with the news, like with regards to UK politics, since I live in the UK. Like BBC, The Guardian, The Economist, things like that. I usually just prefer to read my news like on their websites rather than to watch videos or things like that.
Yeah, I probably read my news on CNN or BBC, and maybe occasionally watch a couple of videos on Instagram. Yeah, because that's pretty nice.
Press it down.
I actually don't like getting my news from anything like BBC or CNN or Fox because I find often that it's very biased, and I've written papers on it for school. So I feel like a hypocrite if I would have like actually watched it or gotten my news from there. So I like to get my news from places like Democracy Now! And The Intercept because they're not funded by anyone.
Do you think you can distinguish real news and fake news?
I think it's hard to do until you start comparing different news sites, and from there you'll kind of see what their bias is. But if you just read one news source, it's hard to like figure out the bias because that's all you'll ever know.
So do you realize that if you're, I don't know, you don't access Facebook, right? You guys use Facebook, maybe?
For school only.
Yeah. For school only. Because they're like, you get into a bubble. Have you heard of the people talk about the bubble? That you're only getting news on things that you've clicked on and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is that something that's a concern? Something you're aware about?
I
actively
hate that.
look at?
I hate that so much. I don't like it at all. I think it's wrong.
Okay, so you guys, just in general, do you guys feel pretty strongly about fake news and like the fake information that's out there? A raise of hands. Who cares about fake news and? Okay.
I just think it's kind of funny, to be honest. I like reading The Onion a lot, just for fun.
Okay.
And I think it's really interesting because I'm one of the people who, if I see a headline, I'm probably actually going to read through the article.
Okay.
And it's almost fascinating to see how recently they try to stretch the biggest things out of the smallest.
Make a
things.
big boom out of nothing.
Right, and so there will be this massive headline based on the smallest event. We were talking about this in our class about how research, there will be articles that say chocolate is the best thing for you and it will make you immortal, and then the actual study is just it's unsure if this is true. We don't know if it can happen, but we notice in this small group of lab rats that it could happen. It really depends, and it's just fascinating to see how that happens.
So when you talk about clickbaity headlines, right? Sometimes you know that it's probably false, but you probably click in to read it because of entertainment, like you just said. Like, you know it's not true, but it's just funny to watch, funny to read. Okay, that's kind of like a different way of looking at it. So
Ethan, you're on Reddit before, right?
Yes.
Are you guys all on Reddit? You guys know what Reddit is? I mean, some do, some don't. I mean, so Instagram, Reddit. Which you prefer?
I prefer Reddit.
Reddit.
Yeah.
Nyan, Instagram or Reddit?
I usually prefer Instagram, I think. Like Reddit, it lets me access news and things like that, but it's basically from strangers all over the world, whereas with Instagram, I mainly use it to just keep in touch with my friends, and that's what I prefer.
It's difficult for me to have an opinion on this because I don't have either a Reddit or an Instagram account. The only way I see Reddit is through screenshots that my friends send me of funny threads that they
You were
saw.
chatting even before. So you have no urge to like get an account? Log in?
None. No, I don't want an Instagram or a Reddit account.
I think probably for me, Instagram, just because it's where everyone is. Yeah.
Instagram as well.
Instagram.
Okay, Instagram versus Snapchat.
Okay,
Instagram,
first.
Snapchat.
1, 2, 3. Instagram wins.
Instagram?
Instagram? Okay.
Snapchat?
Snapchat? We're tied. So do you guys use Instagram and Snapchat for, like messaging as well? So you use Snapchat for messaging. So Instagram, besides sharing your content, it's all about talking to your friends, people that you don't know. Okay. Do you guys all use WhatsApp? Facebook Messenger? How many chatting devices, chatting apps do you guys have? A lot, too. Okay, so you talk to different people on different chat messaging apps as well. Okay, interesting. How many messaging apps do you have, Joe?
I don't know. I mean, it's a Line, right? Depends on where I go. Line, WeChat. Depends on where I go. You guys have WeChat? Interesting. And obviously the WhatsApp and the Facebook and everything.
Okay.
And iMessage.
iMessage.
Anybody use that anymore?
There you go. There you go. Cool. So when you guys are talking about, you guys deciding what to watch earlier, how do you find stuff to watch? Do you prefer browsing, or is it, from your friends? Or how do you discover new things to watch or new things to content, like games to play, for example?
I guess for me, a lot of it is just clicking around. There's not necessarily any pattern of which I usually choose my videos. It's just click something that seems new or cool, and then just keep clicking until you find the right video. And once you find that right video, it's pretty much just watch it nonstop. But if I want to find anything new, it's always the videos my friends find, not necessarily the videos I find. A lot of it, whatever they find funny, I find funny. And often 3 people looking for videos is far better than 1 person looking for videos. So yeah, new content, it's mostly based around friends. But for everyday watching is just myself clicking through.
Browsing.
Yeah, browsing.
Spending like half an hour browsing.
Yeah.
Watching a 5-minute video.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Actually, I'm somewhat similar in the way that I do browse. However, I always browse from a starting point. I already know the games and the videos that I like, so I will often search things that are similar to the things that I like.
Okay.
So it's less so.
Search. Where do you search?
For videos, it's 100% YouTube. I will look in the recommended list because even though sometimes weird things can pop up in your recommended list, most of the time it's similar to the video you're currently watching, and this will be interesting.
Do you think YouTube knows your friends' network and therefore will show you what your friends watch?
I don't think YouTube knows what my friends watch. Is that a thing?
Uh-oh. I don't know, they probably do.
So privacy, do you care about it? Are you concerned about it?
Can you share a little bit more, Chloe? Because you're an interesting one. Everybody has Instagram, everybody has, Snapchat, whatever, but you have zero social media accounts.
Yes, I'm quite offline. I don't use, the only social media I use is WhatsApp and email. Okay, funny story. When I first made my Facebook account, I was going to use it just for Messenger. And then when I opened it, it started immediately telling me all of the people I knew. And I was so freaked out by it, I closed it and never returned. Yeah.
So what steps are you taking to protect your privacy?
Well, I never post, I'm not interested in posting anything about myself online or for other people to see. I mean, there's nothing on me that I've posted myself. Maybe other people have posted stuff about me, but I haven't posted anything about myself.
So for when I'm signing up for websites or whatever accounts for random stuff, I actually use a throwaway email that I don't have connected to any of my main accounts. And then for my social media accounts that people can see, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Snapchat, I actually really manicure what I'm putting up there because I know that it can be accessed at any time. And the history of what I post and what I do can come back to bite me if I'm not responsible.
None? Privacy?
I don't know if these days there is a whole lot that can be done with regards to privacy, to be honest. Like, it is a big concern. There were new EU regulations 2 or 3 months ago with regards to internet privacy.
GDPR.
And I think that's definitely a step in the right direction. But for me personally, I don't feel as if there's a whole lot I can do when I do create, like, I have an Instagram account, for example, and it seems like the only real option for me is to not put too much on there that's too revealing. I could be accessed by people who I don't want seeing it. Like, I feel like the most I can do is set my account to private, for example, rather than making it publicly viewable to anyone who knows my username.
Do you guys think it affects how you share things, share online as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like now with the majority of us, we're facing college applications now. And in an age where there's hypersensitivity to information and everyone has access to everything, I think now, like Ethan said, we're very much manicuring everything we post online. And I think it was like last year or 2 years ago that several Harvard students had posted something like racist in a meme group.
Yep.
And had their applications rescinded. I think after that, the majority of us realized that we do need to manicure the way we look online. And even if we were to do anything nefarious or not necessarily in alignment with social norms, then we'll find somewhere else in a more incognito form to do it, because that is what the internet is allowing us to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Google or Facebook will be around 10 years from now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys like just a couple of quick questions, and don't think, just answer. Okay, number 1, Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube. Netflix.
Netflix? Netflix, raise your hand. YouTube? Everybody else? Okay.
Okay, another one. Apple or Samsung? Apple. Samsung. I had a reversed.
Yeah, interesting.
I did a poll of my son's school. He's 14, and it's overwhelmingly Samsung. And I sort of tried to poke why, and they said it wasn't cool, it wasn't good for gaming, and it's your parents' phone.
Hand-me-downs. Hand-me-downs, right, Chloe? Okay, well, I guess one of the last ones. Watching or posting? So, watching. Posting. Be careful of the college application.
Yes, I'm very much aware of that.
Okay, great. All right, cool. Anybody in the audience have any burning questions?
So my question is conversion. So like you guys who have actually take notice of interesting ads and also follow your, say, K-pop artists and things like that, how much effect do they have on you? Like let's say BTS is promoting a headphone and things like that. Does it actually convert you and affects your purchase decision? Not at all?
Oh, all right.
I don't really, well, first of all, I don't think I've seen much of BTS advertising. I know they've done some, but even so, I don't really pay attention to it. I pay more attention to their music, and I don't really mind what they advertise or hate on.
But if they're wearing a cool hat, like...
I don't notice things like that.
So when it comes to actual like physical things that you could buy, like a new phone or new clothes or whatever, I really don't pay attention to what the people I'm watching are recommending. But when it comes to media that I can consume, either it be movies or TV shows or new games that I could play, I pay a lot of attention to what they're saying and what they're doing.
Okay, so just riding on that, how do you guys, if I give you like a $500, like how do you guys decide what to buy or what do you want? Like what's good to have, you know?
I feel like this is a very off topic, but I am a big fan of this card game called Magic the Gathering. I would definitely spend $500 on Magic the Gathering.
I'm gonna go to Marina Bay Sands. I'm gonna go to Wolfgang Puck's. I'm gonna buy a steak. I'm gonna eat that steak, and I'm gonna enjoy life because that's what I would spend my $500 on.
Okay.
Because frankly, spending it on anything else is kind of a waste.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So more of experiences than like physical things.
Yeah.
Oh.
How do you decide what? Like,
Yeah.
How do you decide, like, Samsung versus Apple or whatever, or
Okay.
restaurant versus another?
I guess with regards to the Samsung versus Apple debate, I've basically been trapped in the Apple ecosystem since I got my first laptop, and I don't know how to get out. So that's me. They imprison you in there. So if you start off with a Mac, it just gets so much easier to kind of just use that. And when that one breaks, you just buy a new one. That's kind of how it's been for me. When it comes to purchasing decisions, I guess, and trying to decide like what to buy, I, like a lot of these other guys, don't really pay attention to the celebrities or the musicians that I'm following. Like, if there's something I need, for example, a new pair of headphones, I try and decide on my price point. I ask friends and family about their experiences, and I just try to find the best product within that price range or the type of quality that I'm looking for and things like that.
Just on headphones, do you go to YouTube and search for reviews or like, you know, information?
So I recently bought a pair of AirPods from Apple, and I did look at a couple of YouTube reviews before I did that.
Okay, gotcha.
Unboxing videos? You guys watch unboxing videos? No. Okay, see.
Do you, maybe
You had a question?
So I guess, hi, thanks for sharing. I'm curious to understand, for example, when you're going to buy something, just to expand a little bit on that, what is the first thing that you do? For example, you realize a need for a pair of sneakers, for example. What's the first thing you usually do for each of you? And also, just to give a little bit more cultural context, I think that's very important. Can I understand where each of you are from, perhaps? That will give us a bit more insight to your behavior as well.
Yeah, I'm start with you. I mean, you mentioned a little bit already, which is, she's like, where are you from a bit? Just start, you were saying, just go on. Yeah.
So I was born and raised in Hong Kong before moving to Shanghai, and I'm currently studying in the UK. I'm back in Singapore, mostly because my family lives here, so I'm home for the summer. I think, so like you said, if I realize I need a new pair of sneakers, the first place I would normally go is so if my previous pair of sneakers is from, for example, Nike, I would probably just go back and see what other options that same brand would have available and maybe branch out from there.
Amina?
I am born and raised at Singapore. About the pair of sneakers, I think I would think twice, because if I buy a sneaker immediately, my mom will scold me Like, why are you spending money on sneakers when you can spend at something else? So she's like typical Indian parents. So I would think twice before getting cane.
I was born in the US, but I've lived in Singapore for 16 years. Regarding the shoe thing, I don't really look on social media for shoes. I mainly just look at styles that I like personally.
I was born in the US and I was raised here for pretty much most of my life. And if I look to buy a pair of sneakers, mostly I look at the designs I like, and I'm a bit of a sneakerhead. I very much like all sorts of more like designer sneakers. So I look for the brands that I like, and I look for the designs that I like. Yeah.
I was also born in the US. I was raised in China and I moved back to Singapore about 6 years ago. And I really only buy sneakers about once every year when we go to Canada, where there are huge department stores with really cheap shoes. And then I try on 50 to 60 pairs, depending on how my mom is feeling. And then we purchase the cheapest one, probably.
Very cost conscious.
So I was born in Denver, Colorado, and I moved here when I was 11. I'm the type of person to walk through a pair of shoes before I buy a new pair. And then I usually buy the same pair that I just had, but in a different color. So I've been wearing Converse for a while.
Okay. So, any other questions before, we here? I think we can take maybe just 2 more questions.
Yeah, 2 more, and I think Kathy's giving us the...
Just the follow-up question, like, so how do you like a brand? A lot of you say that, okay, when we like this brand, and then we will browse around from that brand. So how do you fall in love with a brand?
I don't know. Like, the brand kind of has to be part of a look, I guess. Like, I wear Converse and jeans and T-shirts, and so if a brand is kind of in that kind of mood, that kind of relaxed teen vibe, I'll probably stick with it.
I'm probably the worst brand loyalty person out there. I have not a lot of brand loyalty. I mostly only care about the product itself. If it suits what I like, then I'll buy it no matter if the brand is something that I like or have no idea what it is at all.
So I'll riff off of that a little bit. So Nike, Copernic, you know, the whole kneeling thing, right? Does that influence you? I'll start with Nayan.
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure, like, what's going on with all of that. I haven't really been keeping up, but I guess if I would probably make a different decision based on the outcome. I'm not super sure about it, though.
I don't really care how the company is affiliating itself in terms of its vision. But in response to the Kaepernick advertisement, I don't think I had much of an effect because I frankly don't play football, so I don't really know who he is. And even though the things that he stood for is probably what is in alignment with Nike's views, like I said before, I really just don't care. Yeah.
I would protest if it was legal. Not Nike. The current treatment of the current things that are happening in the States. And so I've been more interested in Nike recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's some controversy around it. You see it a lot. Okay. Interesting. One last question, I think.
Yeah, she's got a question.
Finally. Okay, last question. So you typically access your information through your phone. My question is, who will make a final call for your phone purchase, as well as where did you know this phone information?
My phone's a hand-me-down from my mom.
In the past, I've also gotten hand-me-downs from my parents. It's a lot. I get the second newest version, and they get the first newest version. Yeah, that's how I get my phones.
My parents signed a deal with StarHub, so we got ours extremely, extremely cheap. So yeah, that's how.
It was what you wanted, as in you chose the model.
Yeah, I did.
My phone's also a hand-me-down, which is why it's broken, because my dad's not very careful.
For me personally, like I said earlier, I've been kind of trapped in the Apple ecosystem. So I got my first iPhone age 13 about 6 years ago, and since then, if there's a new model and I feel like my old phone's like kind of torn down enough that it's in need of an upgrade, I would literally like give it to the Apple store and they'd give me some credit in return that would go towards the purchase of like the newest iPhone, I guess.
Choose your own phone, just say like how you want to make a decision to choose your phone.
So how would I make my decision?
Yes,
or
like where to get your information about the phone and how.
Well, he's already in the ecosystem. He's already trapped.
Oh, okay.
They're not letting him out.
Maybe. How about people get the phone from your?
The guy's got hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
How do you, if you had your, what would you do?
Free will. If you had free will, how would you
$500.
find?
Well, 1,000.
Yeah.
It'd probably be based off what kind of function I want at the moment. So I wanted a better, I like the cameras nowadays, the newer phones have better cameras. My old phone, the camera wasn't that good, so that's kind of how I was deciding what kind of phone, if I could decide, I'd choose one that has a good camera.
As for the specs of my phone, I think I really only care if the phone has good access to internet and can manage a lot of heavy load apps. So not a camera or screen quality.
Okay. Last one.
For me, it's the camera.
Is the camera? Okay, cool.
All right. We're way out over time. So please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much for coming on. I know it was easy chatting, and we're going to move on.